All right, let's talk about a really cool holiday you've probably never heard of, the Old New Year. It's this amazing blend of history, tradition, and just a little bit of magic that gives millions of people a second shot at ringing in the new year. So just imagine this for a second. What if, after all the noise and parties of January 1st are over, you got a do-over? A second chance to make those resolutions, get together with family, and celebrate the start of the year all over again? Well, for millions of people, that's not just a what if. It's a real thing. On January 14th, they celebrate what's known as the Old New Year. Think of it as a bonus holiday, a second, often deeper chance to get a fresh start. Okay, but why? Why does this even exist? Well, the whole story comes down to this really fascinating clash of calendars that literally created a 13-day gap in time. Let's dig into the history. So here's the quick history lesson. Way back in 45 BCE, you had Julius Caesar, and he rolls out the Julian calendar. It was a pretty good system for its time, but it had one tiny little flaw. It was about 11 minutes too long each year. Now, that doesn't sound like much, right? But over hundreds of years, those minutes really started to add up. By 1582, the calendar was off by a full 10 days. So to get things back on track, Pope Gregory XIII introduced the much more accurate Gregorian calendar, which is the one most of us use today. But here's the kicker. Not everybody made the switch right away. While a lot of the world got on board with the new Gregorian calendar, many Orthodox churches and countries in Eastern Europe decided to stick with the old Julian calendar. For them, it was really about holding on to their unique religious traditions and their cultural identity. And that tiny little 11-minute inaccuracy from centuries ago, well, today, the gap between those two calendars has grown to exactly 13 days. And what that means is that January 14th on our calendar is actually January 1st on the old Julian calendar. And that right there is the entire reason the Old New Year exists. Pretty cool, huh? So now that we know why it happens, let's get to the fun part, how people celebrate. Because this is where the holiday really comes to life with all these rich and really meaningful traditions. The whole vibe of the celebration is about renewal. I mean, families will deep clean their entire homes, literally sweeping out any negativity from the past year. It's also a time to patch things up, resolve old arguments, pay off any debts, just clear the slate. And then you gather for a huge family feast and sing traditional carols called kolyadki. A dish you'll almost always find on the table is kucha, and this is just a perfect example of how symbolic the holiday is. It's not just a tasty pudding. Every single ingredient means something. The grains symbolize resurrection and eternal life. The honey represents the sweetness of life, and the poppy seeds are a wish for prosperity in the new year. And the food is just incredible, and it's totally different depending on where you are. In Russia, for example, you might have Olivier salad and these amazing dumplings called vareniki. Head over to Serbia, and it's all about roasted pork and a special bread. And in North Macedonia, whole communities get together around these massive bonfires to share food. It's amazing. And one of my favorite parts is this little bit of magic they mix in. They'll hide a coin or some other small trinket inside one of the dumplings or a special piece of bread. The dish gets passed around, and everyone is just waiting to see who finds the surprise, because whoever does is said to be in for a year of fantastic luck and wealth. The magic doesn't stop with the food either. The day itself is filled with all these folk rules and superstitions. The idea is that what you do on this one day can set the tone for your entire year. So, you gotta be careful. Yeah, there's a whole set of do's and don'ts. So to bring in good fortune, you want your first guest of the year to be a man, you should wear new, clean clothes and make sure your table is just overflowing with food. But you absolutely want to avoid things like lending money or even taking out the trash, because those things are believed to carry your luck right out the door with them. But if you take just one thing away from all of this, it shouldn't just be about the food or the superstitions. The real soul of the Old New Year is found in its quiet, emotional character. I think this quote from our source material just says it all. The Old New Year isn't some loud, crazy party like December 31st. It's described as a gentle echo of the main celebration. Something much more nostalgic, more reflective. At its heart, the Old New Year is a quieter, more intimate holiday. It's a chance to step away from all the noise and really connect with your family, with your heritage. It's that final, quiet moment to think about your personal goals and get a gentle start to the year ahead. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? In our modern world, where we're always rushing toward the next big thing, what can we learn from a holiday that finds its true meaning by looking back and honoring the past? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.